What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Swanky Disc Golf. Today, we are going to be talking about round one of the 2025 PDGA World Championships. That's right, it is that time of the year again, the most anticipated time of the year every year for disc golf. And special edition of the Swanky Disc Golf Show, we are actually going to be breaking down each round every day of Worlds. So at the time of recording, this is after round one. It'll go live the day after round one in the United States, Eastern time. So after each round, we're going to be uploading a podcast, whether you're listening or watching. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we cannot wait to break down the World Championship for you. This is perhaps one of the most anticipated World Championships in recent years. There's so many exciting storylines, so many really cool things to get into. I first want to give a big shout out to Disc Golf Deals USA for partnering with us. If you guys would like 10% off your disc golf purchases, you can go to discgolfdealsusa.com/swankydiscgolf and get 10% off your purchases. They have an incredible inventory of discs. They have all of the latest and greatest drops. They have fast shipping. They also have really anything you need for disc golf. They have bags. They have help and advice like blog posts. And they have just the most insane inventory. And they're a US-based company, really, really cool company, and it supports us as well. If you go to discgolfdealsusa.com/swankydiscgolf, you can pick up some awesome discs and get 10% off. Without any further ado, let's jump into it. Round one, 2025. First, we'll break it down a little bit for you guys. If anyone hasn't watched the round yet, you should go and do that. I don't know how quickly they're going to get out post-produced coverage of this. As of this recording, there's no post-produced coverage. So it is on YouTube. The first round was on YouTube. Some really cool things happening. This is taking place in Finland, in Europe, in Nokia. Specifically at the Beast Disc Golf Course. One reason this is very notable is that this might be the last time this course is ever played. They were notably going to be shutting down the Beast, super iconic course. The European started there, was opened whenever their first year was. I believe 2006 was the first year of the European Open. And now it looks like there's going to be some construction, some classic disc golf course axing. And this might be the last year that we see the Beast in Finland. So I want to get just your overall first impressions, first thoughts. Let's imagine we haven't even seen the first round yet. Reed, what are you thinking going into 2025 Worlds in Nokia, Finland?
Oh man, an exciting time for European disc golf. First of all, I think that setting the stage. Like, we're getting majors out here, and we've always had those, right? But it's never been to this level. It's never been Worlds. It's never been on this stage, right? So it's very exciting. And to do it on these courses, to do it, like you said, with the Beast being what it is, an iconic European course, and then the Monster, one of Europe's newest, most high-profile courses, is very exciting. So just from a European disc golf perspective, it's a very exciting time. I have heard that the crowds are insane, and that
record-breaking.
The weekend is sold out. So I'm very excited to see coverage, especially on Saturday and Sunday, just to see sold out crowds lining those fairways. That's going to be so exciting. So hopefully they get a great finish out there. But yeah, I guess with that being said, a lot of the storylines for me heading into Worlds come in the MPO. We have primarily, I think, Calvin Heimberg comes top of mind because he is fresh off of his first ever major win. So monkey off the back. Now, can he do the next thing, which is get the Worlds title, right? That has to be the main storyline here. Can Calvin go back to back, and can he get that Pro World Championship title? And then I guess Gannon Buhr, best player in the world right now, but still doesn't have a world championship. So that's another thing. He's got to be going into this entire season thinking about this weekend. This weekend probably means more to him than any other individual weekend will all year. So exciting to see if he can make a play. I would think those are the two main storylines heading in. And then I guess Paul. I can never not think about Paul when we go to Europe. It's like this is his home. The European Open, he owned that place
He plays so well there,
for a decade. He owned European Open. And then he owned Worlds for nearly a decade as well, getting first or second at every event. So it's just when European Open combines with Worlds, you got to think about Paul. But I guess those are the storylines that I would be focused on for sure.
Yeah, I think those are definitely the biggest. There's so many to follow at this point. It's hard to keep track. Those are definitely the biggest. We're also looking at Isaac Robinson, could possibly become one of 3 people. He's already one of, I believe it's 5 people to win back-to-back world championships. He could make that an even more elite status club and become one of only 3 people to win Worlds 3 times. Absolutely insane. And he also plays very well in Europe traditionally. He's been playing well recently. Ricky Wysocki, also I feel like kind of a storyline. He hasn't maybe been as on the forefront of our minds lately, but it's been so long for him. I think it's been over a year since he's won anything. And now it's been, I don't even know how long since his last major win. So we're looking for his legacy's sake. I feel like he's maybe a storyline. And then on the FPO side, you also have, is Kristen Lott going to reclaim her title? Because she is known as being the most dominant player of all time and didn't win Worlds last year, fell short. And now it's in Europe, it's in Finland. There's going to be a lot of Finnish players out here, though, and we know that the Finnish FPO players are some of the best players in the lineup, so it's going to be hard to beat some of them. So let's get into breaking it down. We were in Nokia, Finland. Really cool. If you were watching some of the coverage, you'll notice huge crowds, sold-out weekend. It was day 1, and it was rainy, and there was still huge crowds out there. Super, super exciting to see. Over on the FPO side, we have coming in the top 5 players. We have Henna Blomroos finishing in first place after the first round. Again, this is the Beast. I've heard there's been a couple changes, none that are so extreme that I think would warrant it being anything less than what it normally is. This course traditionally plays a little bit easier, I think especially than what we'll see out of the Monster. But the Beast plays a little bit easier for the FPO field. Henna Blomroos finishing at 6 under. And then 4 people tied for second place at 4 under. Kat Murch, Silva Saarinen, Rachel Turton, new name to my eyes. And it looks like she has a Great Britain flag. It's really small on my screen, so that could be wrong. And then another name that I really apologize. I'm not going to just butcher that. And then on the bubble, we have Owen Scoggins, Jennifer Allen, Hannah Hune, Kona Montgomery up there, Valerie Mandujano up there, Kristen Lott tied for 9th with a slew of other people. Paige Pierce not far behind, tied for 14th. We're always going to talk about in a 5-day tournament, it's really hard to just completely ruin your tournament in one round. It's even more difficult to win the tournament after one round or to have it in the bag. It's basically impossible to have it in the bag after one round. I think it might be possible to be completely out of it after one round, but nobody's completely out of it. We'll stay with FPO for now, and I want you to give me your thoughts on how the FPO field was looking today.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting group that we have at the top. I don't think it's super surprising to see Henna and Silva in particular in contention.
Oh, yeah.
I think the biggest surprise is obviously going to be Kristen. And her struggles were kind of on display a little bit, and it's rather unfortunate. We get her on the feature card, and of course, we weren't able to watch the FPO live. It was super early here on the East Coast, and if you're on the West Coast in the U.S., even earlier. So hopefully, somebody out there in Europe was able to actually watch them live. But I was able to catch highlights of this round. And when I say highlights, I do mean more lowlights. It just looked like she was uncomfortable. And then I saw her post-round interview. And did you see her post-round interview?
I did not, actually. Didn't see the
Okay.
first round interview.
She is struggling, man. I mean, she was basically close
Interesting.
to tears after the round, talking about some
Wow.
anxiety she's experiencing, unable to sleep at night, and she was feeling that out on the course. She left the interview after
Interesting.
just 2 or 3 short questions. Definitely looked like she was fighting back some pretty rough emotions. So I'm not sure what's going on with Kristen, but it was unfortunately on display today, and I'm not sure what that means for her going forward into the rounds. Especially, we're heading to the Monster tomorrow. Not exactly a forgiving course, so it's going to be interesting to watch and see how Kristen handles the pressure. I certainly agree with you. I do not think that you can get out of it by any means, but particularly in the FPO, an even par round is never taking you out of the tournament. Absolutely never. 6 under the hot round today.
Yeah.
We're going to see these scores fluctuate like crazy in the coming days, especially if Kristen is not going to be close to the top. So I think that these names, Valerie and Paige, even down there at 1 over par, if they can hang out at even par for a day or two and maybe get a few strokes under par at the Monster, they're going to be right in it, I think. But that being said, Silva and Henna do have the opportunity to put the pressure on tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, we're thinking of Kristen, prayers for her. I'm not sure what's going on, but hopefully she can turn it around tomorrow.
No, absolutely. And there are 2 pools of players. There's one pool playing at the Beast and one pool playing at the Monster. So you might see some things change up as those switch. The Monster is traditionally more difficult. And something I'll talk about more with the MPO side of things, you get a lot of first-round warriors, especially at these big events. It's Worlds. Somebody is going to show up super excited, super hungry, and play the best round of their life that they're capable of doing, and they're not capable of doing it every day. Kristen Lott is capable of shooting even par, which is 975 rated, and being like a complete wreck. And that's like her bottom round is even par. You could see it. I scrolled back and watched her round, and from the very first hole, she missed a maybe 15-footer that rolled like 35 feet away that then she laid up for bogey. It was like very uncharacteristic, and she was kind of smiling through the pain a little bit, but it very much so did look like that. It looked like she was smiling through the pain and then just went on this crazy par streak, and that was it. Got a couple birdies, couple bogeys. And yeah, she might be dealing with something off the course. We don't know. But definitely time in a 5-round tournament. We talk about how good Kristen is in these 5-round tournaments. When she has time to get comfortable and to start really playing her game, it's almost unstoppable. It's wild. But people who are not first-round warriors are people like Silva Saarinen, Henna Blomroos. Those people have been at the top of leaderboards before. They know what they're doing. They're not going to, I don't think, especially Henna Blomroos, Silva Saarinen are going to have these big blow-up rounds that drop them back. She is going to have to fight to get back in it with them. And I mean, you have Owen Scoggins up there, obviously no stranger to winning tournaments. Cap Merch is up there. These are not first-round warriors. These are people who know what they're doing. But I think some of these other people who are surrounding the top 9 might end up falling off as the tournament proceeds. Yeah, moving over to the MPO, a lot happened as well. I feel like this is where I'll talk a little bit more about first-round warriors, because I feel like in the MPO side, this tends to happen a lot. There's so many players who just absolutely pop off round 1 because they were hyped up. They played the best round that they have ever played in their entire life, but they can't do it for 5 rounds in a row. But again, some of our names at the top are not those kind of people. Sully Tipton is no stranger to big moments at World Championships. He hasn't closed one out, obviously, but he has been on the big stage in big moments at World Championships specifically. We saw him just last year in Lynchburg popping off. Adam Hammis tied for second. He's a savvy vet, knows what he's doing. I do not know how to pronounce, I believe his last name is pronounced Utzon. Utzon, 11 under. So 12 under is Sullivan Tipton. Then you have 3 other players who are tied at 2 for 11 under. Gannon Burr Albert Tom, Raven Newson tied for 5th at 10 under par. So we have a pretty tight race at the top here in the MPO field. Only a handful of strokes separating first place from 10th place. I mean, honestly, from 20th place. Ezra Robinson is on the bubble. Bradley Williams is on the bubble. Garrett Gurthie, Cale LaVisca, and Casey White pulling up to tied 11th. Really cool to see, but I think there are a lot of unproven names in this top. There's a lot of people tied for 11th, but in this top 11 to 20 placements who I think you might see their names falling off the list, especially as we move to the Beast. That's the Beast. I have never seen coverage of it, but I saw a stat that said negative, I believe it was 6 under, was 1050 rated the last time it was played, which is going to be, we have, let me see what 6 under was rated here, was 1030 at the Beast, so I think it'll be a good bit more difficult at the Monster, and you'll start to see a lot of names changing, because this is probably the bigger storyline, is how many names are at the bottom of round 1, closer to the bottom. Tied for 39th, we have Simon Lizotte, Aaron Gossage, Ricky Wysocki, Kevin Jones. I think even farther down the list, tied for 52nd, we have Chris Dickerson. We have Paul McBeth at 65th place. We have these world champion caliber players are not even in the top 50, which is pretty discouraging. Not discouraging. Calvin Heiberg tied for 25th. Eagle McMahon tied for 25th. We're going to need to see a climb out of these guys, and it looks like you're going to have to, at least on the Beast, average double-digit under par performances. There was rain out there, which probably affected different players at different moments when they felt the rain and maybe they were on a more difficult hole. But I think the biggest storyline is our world champions feel like they're kind of out of it. What did you think of the MPO side?
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I kind of agree with you about the first round warriors, and it's not even really about who's a first round warrior. Like we talk about Casey White a lot, and he is ironically T11 after round 1. But as a kind of a first round guy, he gets out to a lot of early leads, has a lot of good first rounds. But these guys occasionally have trouble sustaining that success. I don't even think it's so much about that. I just think that in this super long tournament, 5 rounds, we are going to see those who are capable of 5 rounds of consistency rise to the top. And a lot of these guys, we just haven't seen that from. So forgive me for being skeptical, but when I look at this leaderboard, my eyes immediately see Adam Hammis, I see Gannon Burr, I see Ezra Robinson, and after that, I mean, those are my 3 names. I think I see AB next at -7, and those are kind of like, I see that as my lead card going into next round, and that's no disrespect to anybody. I hope that the Europeans that are at the top can perform. I hope that Sully can hold down this lead. Like, I would love to see that.
That'd be awesome.
But looking at Hammis, Gannon, Ezra, and AB, it just feels like those are the guys who have done it. They know what it takes to do it, and they shot the first round that is necessary to keep them in the mix. And I don't think that -6 or -5 is out of it by any means for Calvin or for Ricky. I struggle with Paul. He really probably needed to shoot a hotter round if he wanted to throw his hat in the ring. But then again, we have 4 more rounds after this. And there's a lot.
And Paul McBeth is known for lighting up the Beast. He could come back and shoot a course record.
Yeah, he could absolutely go crazy here coming up. I mean, he's capable of ridiculous rounds, and that's basically his only hope. I think he needs to be averaging 11 to 12 the rest of the way to probably have a shot. Well, at the Beast. I don't know what the average is going to need to be at the 2 rounds that they have at the Monster. Probably 8 or 9. I would give the Monster like 3 strokes separation on the Beast. So if 12 under is our hot round today, I bet it's 10 under tomorrow. Although maybe I don't know. It's going to be.
I at least think that the scores are going to be more separated at the Monster. Like, somebody might shoot 12 under, but I don't think a bunch of people are going to shoot. Like, we have almost 8 people who are 10 under or better. I don't think we'll have that. Maybe we will.
Right,
I don't know.
right.
We'll have to see. I don't think we'll have like the top 10 players are double-digit under par. Somebody might pop off. That almost always happens because if it's possible and there's a field of 100 people out there playing, somebody's going to do it. But yes, I was also looking down for Isaac Robinson, our back-to-back world champion. 52nd place, -4. What do you give his odds of maintaining the three-peat? I know people were so hype. I mean, we're obviously super hype. Friends, Isaac Robinson is the Georgia guy, and we're hyped for it. But a lot of people were hyped just for the opportunity for somebody to three-peat. Somebody has that chance to get a third back-to-back world championship. What are the odds for that to happen at this point?
I don't know if the odds are that good, but you got to like Isaac at the Monster. So there's definitely an opportunity for him to get back in the mix at the Monster. We have 2 rounds in a row there, I believe, coming up. It's round 2 and 3. So if he comes out of round 3 and he's in the top 15, if he's within 8 strokes of the leader going into the last 2 rounds, I certainly believe it's doable. But the problem is, like, honestly, I do think that there's tournament winning and tournament losing to be done in the next 2 rounds because
100%.
of the lack of score separation at the Beast. I mean, there is score separation. It's a difficult course. It's just not as difficult. So I do think there will be guys losing the tournament on Thursday and Friday. So
for sure,
we'll
2
see.
rounds at the Monster. Put like the first round's not going to put you out of it. But 2 bad rounds at the Monster,
that'll put you right
could
out.
very well put you out of it.
That could put you right out. I'm so excited that Gannon is at the top here. He's not going to be on lead card. It looks like he just missed it by a stroke, but it's going to be interesting to see the mental toughness of these guys because, like I said, a lot of these top performers that we're used to seeing at the top of leaderboards throughout the rest of the year are spread out. Very few of them are going to be on card together, at least near the top. Ezra and Gannon and Adam and AB, they're all on separate cards. So it's going to be interesting to see. They need to maintain mental toughness. If the guys around them fail to perform to that level, they need to be mentally tough, play their own game, and don't get caught up in what the card is doing. I know these guys are used to doing that, but it's a little bit more spread out than it usually is. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of watching, it's something interesting and also just emphasizing how awesome of a year this is for Worlds. It being in Europe is super cool. Europe is known for having big turnouts. The European Open always has some of the biggest galleries on the tour. It says there could be over 10,000 people in attendance for the final round on Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, insane. The Disc Golf Network has partnered with something I can't pronounce the name of, but it's a public broadcasting network to Finland. So it's like live TV that it says reaches 60% of all Finnish people on a weekly basis.
Wow.
97% of the population on a yearly basis. So
Whoa.
I don't know, I'm not Finnish, but like their biggest public news source broadcasting network is going to be broadcasting the World Championship. So a lot of eyes on it this year. Super exciting. Can't wait to see the Monster in action because I really haven't seen it. It's apparently like there's a 27-hole course, I think it is, and this is a custom track that has been run before. It is difficult. People know of it. But it's going to be interesting to watch on coverage. So let's go over who you think is going to win. Who do you think is your horse to pick since we've already seen the first round? Who would you pick after the first round? We'll probably just change this after each round, but who do you think after the first round has the best odds of winning FPO and MPO?
Right now, it's funny. I get that the scores look one way. I think that if you were to try to put money on this, Gannon would be far and away the odds-on favorite to win after round 1.
Yeah.
He's won this combination of courses before. He's just good, and he played well round one, the amount of times that he has performed well after a round one of success, it's like he didn't put himself out of it, and that's the first step for Gannon to win an event.
Yes.
When he doesn't do that, he is so good. I'd love to know the numbers of how often Gannon wins an event after shooting, 2 to 4 strokes off the lead the first round. Like, I bet it's pretty often. He tends to do well when he doesn't shoot himself out of it.
Last year it was probably every time.
What'd you say?
I said last year it was probably every time that he did it.
Every single time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
100%.
if he doesn't shoot himself out of it, he tends to have a pretty good chance to win. So I would say Gannon's the favorite right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think Gannon on chase card is probably the most scary because lead card is intimidating. A lot of fumbles happen on lead card. Chase card feels like there's not much pressure. I'm super comfortable. I'm only 2 strokes off the lead. I'm just going to play my game, which he knows he's capable of shooting double digits under on the monster, and he's going to do it because he's got no pressure on him. And that's just like Gannon Buhr on chase card, but he hasn't, like you said, we've talked about his mental, state in tournaments. When he gets behind, he seems to sometimes give up. That's at least like what it seems like from a public perspective, not in the mind of Gannon, but in the past, it seems like he's given up on tournaments before he's chase card, which is horribly just terrifying for everybody on lead card. And then on the FPO side, I guess I didn't point out that our previous world champion, who has a chance at repeating, is it tied for 28th place at 3 over par, 9 strokes off the lead, which is tough. But in the FPO world, man,
she's
anything
not
can
out of
happen.
it, bro. She's not out of it.
She's not out of it.
If
Henna
anyone's
Blomroos
not
could
out of it, it's her
absolutely
for
shoot
sure.
15 over par. Yeah.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
any one of these players could completely blow up at the monster. It's a difficult course. I feel like you just see those wider stroke variations in the FPO field. Somebody could shoot, like Evelina could go out there and shoot 8, 9 under par, and Henna Blomroos or Kat Mertsch or even Silva could shoot 8 or 9 over par, and you just never know. So who do you think your favorite? Although I think my favorite, it's so hard to root against Kristen. Not root against her, but like bet against Kristen. Because if she gets comfortable, it's just crazy. She has 5 rounds to get into a groove. When I feel like this is the worst round we're going to see. Could be wrong, but I feel like this is the worst round we're going to see out of Kristen. She might still be the Vegas favorite. But Owen Scoggins, I think, is in a very comfortable position. Obviously, Henna, Kat Mertsch, and Silva are no strangers to lead cards. They might perform very well. I like Silva, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I think you gotta like Silva as the favorite right now, but again, yeah, if we were in Vegas, I think you'd see Silva and I think you'd see Kristen as the 2 favorites going into round 2 to win the event. If I hadn't seen that interview from Kristen, I'd still think Kristen was the favorite. Yeah, something about Kristen's interview. I mean, certainly, I just hope she's okay, but it's concerning that she just doesn't feel right. So whether it's an injury or just a state of mind that she's in, I think Silva's got to be considered the favorite moving into round 2.
Yeah, I agree. Local favorite. So yeah, tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching, tomorrow and today, we will be in, I've heard that it's pronounced Tampere, Finland, the monster.
Tampere.
Super excited for that. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We're going to be posting every single day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you in the next one. Stay swanky.